We get the ping.
That's the ping, yes. Well, today we meet our next guest, which are Scott and Tracey. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Tracey Collins. I'm 55. I have three young adults, well, two young adults and one going into her junior year. I was diagnosed at the age of, well, I'm 55 now, and I was diagnosed when I was 52. And I've been on the Leqembi for 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've retired since, and I'm trying to find new things to learn.
Yeah. And how about you, Scott? What's your background?
Yeah, so I'm Tracey's partner. We met in 2016 at a coffee shop in Portland, Maine. And now we live together in Saco, Maine, just south of Portland. And I have two adult daughters who both live in southern Maine, so close by. And, our families spend some time together, but very much, yeah, we're a little bit of a Brady bunch. So that's our connection is that, we have been together for about 9 years. In fact, we celebrated our 9th anniversary as a couple just a few days ago. It was August 23rd.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And so where are you today?
Yeah, we are in Edgecombe. I'm sorry, not Edgecombe. Why? Oh, Edgecombe is in Maine. Yeah, Edgeley. That's so funny. Edgeley, North Dakota. So closing in on Fargo, which is on the eastern border of North Dakota, as part of our journey across the country, following Coonrad, our good friend and cyclist.
Oh, right. Yes, I remember that from one of the meetings. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Would you like? So we can, if you'd like, I can share a little bit more about that. Why we're doing that, if that's helpful.
Yeah, that'd be a good starting point. Yeah.
Maybe Tracey, you want to talk about why Coonrad decided to bike across the country from Portland to Portland?
There's a history with my friend Anya and her husband. I used to work in the Netherlands for a time when I had my big girl career at Philips Electronics, and Anya and I became good friends. And when my when my husband died suddenly, Anya came over and came to the funeral, and she was there. She's been there ever since. And we were always colleagues and friends, but now we're really family. And so we go back and forth across, every other year. We've been able to do that to keep that relationship going. And so Coonrad decided that he wanted to do he's a cyclist, and he's biked in the Alps and all over the place, but he really wanted to do a longest day. And and he's doing it with the Alzheimer's Association.
Yeah. So Coonrad, of course, Anya's husband has been longtime friends with Tracey, and now myself, since I've been with Tracey. And he's doing this as a fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association and in Tracey's honor. So we decided that we would follow him across the country and be his support, even though he didn't ask for it. But he accepted our invitation to support him. And then we also decided, with the help of my brother Brent, to film this as a documentary, to really, be able to share Tracey and Coonrad's stories more broadly, to just increase the impact that we're trying to have by raising awareness about Alzheimer's and the great progress that has been made in the scientific community towards achieving an end to Alzheimer's and of course a cure.
Mhm.
So that's what we're working on.
Yeah, what an adventure, traveling across the United States to with his support as well, and I'm sure you've had a lot of fun so far, and I have no doubt that you're gonna hit your goal and get there. So that's great. So from here, Tracey, could you talk around your background from like as a child, what kind to just like highlights of your childhood, and where did you live, that kind of thing, and then where did you go to college, and what kind of work did you do?
Okay. So I was born in Denver, and I grew up in Colorado. I'm the oldest of three. My brother is 4 years younger than me, and my younger sister is 10 years younger than me. We're all really close. My mother never really forgave me for moving to the East Coast, though. I followed my husband, Greg, to Massachusetts, and that's where I went to CU Boulder, and I majored in journalism, and I got into public relations, and that got me into a Boston firm, and we had the Philips Electronics account worldwide, and I was married, but we didn't have any children yet, and the head of corporate communications wanted an English speaking, ironically, and person, and so I became that person, and I got to run 26 countries of communications and pushing out, like there was razors. The really cool one was I got to take Steve Ballmer on. He was the head of the time of the. He was the head of he was the big guy.
Microsoft.
And I got
Microsoft, was it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was smarter then. So I got to take him on media tour all over the country and into Europe for Via Voice, which was the first time you could actually text something into it and would come out and play out of the computer.
Oh, wow.
So I'm old.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm 55. I'm pretty old.
I'm 50, turning 51 this in September.
Yeah, these are supposed to be our golden world.
I know, really.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And so you went all over with Microsoft and the Philips work that you did.
Mm-hmm.
And then from at the through your career, when did you have start seeing some symptoms, and was it something that you were figuring out, or was somebody else noticing any lag or confusion?
Well, I have to jump in and also say that in 2017, my husband died by suicide, and I had 3 kids At that time, they were 11, 9, and 7. And so I took a job at a vocational school, and I was the co-op teacher. And I did that. I got my 10 years and I retired this year. So that was another piece of the trauma. So I think to answer your question, I started noticing things. I had a mommy blog calling that, that was conversations with perfectionists, and I would make fun of things I forgot, when they're little. So that could have been the start, but I really, people noticed when I was working. I also had a meningioma brain tumor in 2022. And so I thought, oh, well, if you're going to get a brain tumor, that's a good one, because it sits on the inside of the skull cap, but not in your, but it was pushing down into my brain. And so
it's not cancerous.
It's not cancerous, but it they can be, but this was not. So I had a lot of neurological things going on. So they really dismissed the diagnosis because of my age and the other complications. But Scott, after me doing some silly things and just not being myself, walking into a classroom, walking right out, and talking to the same thing. So we finally decided to get me tested, and I had a spinal tap, and that was confirmed for the APO2 genetic test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. It's and with the diagnosis, did they so the diagnosis, you had the lumbar puncture. How did you feel about the diagnosis when you had the neurologist to say that this is where we are? Is there what were the feelings about the diagnosis?
Well, it was really devastating, because I was hoping that the brain tumor would be what was the problem. And, at the time my kids were, one was starting college, one was in his sophomore year, and my daughter was in, the 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a lot, to have just managing and remembering all the things you have to do. So sometimes I say, I hope there's a special place in heaven for people who have teenagers and Alzheimer's at the same time.
Yes. Right.
Right? Yeah. You get it.
Totally.
It's not your grandpa's disease anymore,
No, not at all.
Yeah. So I made some changes. They were really good to me at work, but I didn't, my activities and responsibilities were just pared down. And finally I wasn't feeling like I was even, I have a good work ethic, and I wasn't feeling like I was a great employee for them because I couldn't do things that I used to do. And so I decided to go and retire, which I was grateful for.
Yeah. And then so then there's a switch there, right? So when you left your job, how did you adapt to the not working in the way that you have been doing, to moving on to do other things? What kind of things did you turn on into? Like what are other things that did you start doing when you left the school?
Well, I found that sometimes people left me, you're not sick, certain, it's not in a mean or intentional way, but if you're you're not around, or she's sick, and people just pull away when you're not sit stand still all the time. So I had a hard time for a little while, just filling my days and trying to find a new purpose. And so I think one of the reasons I'm so grateful for the Alzheimer's Association is there's a way to continue on and do something altruistic to make some change, because someday there will be a quick cure. We know. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I can say, just add to that, I mean, that was one of the things that most impressed me about Tracey's response to being diagnosed. I mean, obviously she was devastated and shocked and really, upset. But very quickly she connected with somebody who introduced her to the Alzheimer's Association. And as soon as that happened, she became a volunteer advocate for them. And we've developed, and with Tracey's leadership, a very close relationship with, the people at the main chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. And Tracey's been to Washington, D.C. now a couple times, and even met with Senator Susan Collins, and really has been, a wonderful advocate for raising not only awareness, but raising funds and advocating for Congress to get more funding for Alzheimer's research and care and education and all the things that we need to do to break down stigma, but also, improve the chances that, we will get to that place where we won't have Alzheimer's, anymore.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm doing the walk in Foxborough here in Massachusetts, and in next, I think it's October that we're doing that. And I've done some advocacy as well, but nothing on the level that you've got to with all your trips and things. But yeah, it's great to see that you're taking this by the horns, so to speak.
And I just want to go back, if I can, Adam.
Yeah, of course.
When you were asking Tracey about when did she notice the symptoms, because I think an important thing about what we're trying to do with raising awareness is helping people get diagnosed earlier, because as you know, there are treatments now available like Leqembi for people who are in the very early stages. It can really slow down the progression of the disease and get you a lot more time. And so it's important to be able to talk about it as soon as you start noticing symptoms, to be able to talk about it with your doctor and your family members too, and to be able to say, maybe I should get tested. And now that there's a blood test that can test for the amyloid, the biomarkers for the amyloid plaques that cause Alzheimer's, your family practitioner can now administer that blood test. And then if that comes out positive, then send you to a neurologist for further testing and confirmation. So it's an easy test now. But if people aren't willing to talk about it, then you could lose valuable time. And if family practitioners aren't willing to talk about it. And like with Tracey, they first thought she had ADHD, and they diagnosed her with that, and they put her on ADHD medication for a year when she didn't have ADHD. She had Alzheimer's. So, so there's that's a big part of the work, and the reason why we're doing this is to help people understand the importance of talking to their doctor and their friends and family when they start noticing these symptoms, and because you can get help now, and it can change the quality of your life and the trajectory of the disease if you get it early.
Yeah, I've certainly had that moment of understanding that, like, I have to go and see the neurologist. We did a barrage of tests, and then it ended up going to the neurologist and had all the tests, and that's why I'm in this group as a result of this. I want to skip to medication. And have you done? We've talked about Leqembi, and have you had any other medicines?
The Donzepel is the magic cocktail between the infusion and the what's the name of the other?
You mean the Leqembi infusion?
Leqembi, and no, but that's the Donzepel. They're two things,
they
right?
Work together.
That work together. So, but I had a hard time with digestive with the Donzepel, so I have a patch that I wear. It's called Resotime, and it does it's the same kind of thing. So that's another, because I had GI issues with the Donzepel. So there are, they were able to get me another kind of way to get that uptake that into the brain, where they smooth out the tangles and the neurons.
Interesting. Yeah, I did. Because I take that as well. I always take mine first thing in the morning instead of at night, because some of those dreams can be a little bit wacky.
Oh yeah, dreams. I had good dreams. Wow.
Some that I couldn't say in public, and, and some that are like people from my all through my life. It's kind of crazy.
It is.
It really is. Have you done any other trials?
No, because I get because of all the comorbidities, I'm not a perfect sample to be. So that's the loophole for me.
Right.
Though recently we've gone through the Alzheimer's Association. There is a site that where you can sign up for trials, and so we just recently kind of put our name in for
again.
Yeah. And so we'll see. We're hopeful that we will find something. There are so many trials going on. It's almost overwhelming to look through the whole list. So when we're back from this trip, I've received some emails while we've been on the road, and certainly when we're back, we'll try to see which ones might make sense for Tracey.
Right.
And I'm going to also shout out to when I finally got to Brigham and Women, Dr. Erkinen. He's a wonderful neurologist, and he was the first person to put me with another patient that he knew to kind of be my first guide in how to deal with this disease. His name is Joe Montemany. You might know him too. But I think, you know, Dr. Erkinen's compassion was really over the top, and, you know, making sure that when we walked out the door, we had somebody that there's somebody that knows what you're going to, and that's no, doctors don't usually do that, and that was really wonderful.
Yeah. I have I go to Brigham and Women in Fenwood for my infusions, and but and then I have all the MRIs and to check, because I have the gene from both parents, which I didn't realize. My mum's has Alzheimer's still, but she's but my dad passed away before he had any symptoms at all. So that puts me on a list of I have to have a lot of MRIs to make sure that there's no brain bleeds and things.
Yep, same.
Yeah, it's not a good club, that's for sure. And then I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just thinking about every time I'm in the MRI, it's like 2001 Odyssey. And they'll give you tunes you want to listen to.
Yeah, if you can actually hear it over the popping that's going on while you're in the machine. I think the first time I did one, I felt like I was tripping. It was like my brain was saying, what's happening here, and there was like these lights and things going around as well, that my brain's just like trying to make sense of what it's looking at. It's a crazy place.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What from so after your diagnosis, what kind of struggles daily do you, or maybe not daily, but what kind of things trip you over? Like for me, like spelling or typing, the two things are connected together, makes it really hard for me to type quickly. Do you what kind of things did frustrate you the most?
Well, I can get on board with the grocery list right now. So like we use a app called Remind, and put it on, you know, we'll through the house, we'll put everything on that grocery list. And then when I go to the grocery store, I can hit the button, and when I put the thing in the cart, and I know that I've got the item in the cart, so I don't have to go back and did I get it? Did I put it in? You know, so things like that. Those little hacks. Having a place where I keep everything, you know, in the house. Those kinds of things. And you know, they're basic stuff, but I'm still basically, those are the, you know, the short-term memory will come back if I give it an hour. You know, it's delay. You know, but it's frustrating, and I think I'm trying to do a lot of, I go to the gym and do yoga a lot because I have bad knees, and so I can't do a lot of lifting, but so, and trying to eat a Mediterranean diet and all that stuff, and also the social stuff. You know, sometimes you find out who your friends are, and you know, I think my community is a little smaller, but I think it's tighter.
Yeah, it's good that just having people who, you know, do you have friends that you go to the gym for when you're doing your when you go and do your workouts? Does somebody go with you?
Nope, I go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes Donna's there though.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
I'll see friends there. I like to go to the classes when I know people are going to be there, for sure. Yeah, I think trying to be social has been really important for me. I was always I really need. I'm an extrovert, and I really need fun and you know, being able to talk to people every day. I call my mother every day. She calls me, well, you know, and you know, it's the human touch and the human connection is, you know, that's the most important to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I play tennis a lot.
Oh, that's good.
And that's good for and I'm on a team now, so I've got to boost my my tennis grade up so we can win some games. But I that is great. I mean, I'm the youngest person in the team because everybody else has work. I don't anymore because, and so I go to the gym and I take the kids. But when I'm there, there's people with different diagnosis of other things, and we're like a ragtag bunch of we're quite a crew.
Yeah, your friends are getting older.
Yeah.
Because our other friends are still working, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to when you see people going to work and you're like, oh, what am I going to do today?
Right.
Like, yeah. Especially now the kids are going back to school this next week. Everybody will be at school, and I'll be like looking around, wondering, oh, maybe I can cut the grass or all those kind of.
Or you can call me and say what you're doing.
That's right.
There you go.
I'll be doing the same thing.
Well, you know, Tracey, you know, she said she needs her talk time, so you could totally help with that.
He's tired of listening to me.
I never get it. I'm an introvert, so as long as she doesn't mind me, you know, not talking as much as she does, then it all works out great.
There you go.
I'm happy to listen.
Yeah. So then we've talked a little bit about the advocacy that you've been doing. What was some of the highlights of your advocacy?
Well, right now we're on this trip from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine, which is my friend from Holland's idea. I used to, when I was living in Holland, and so Koenraad is his name, and his wife is Anya, and Koenraad decided he wanted to go. I think Joel earlier in the protest, but from Portland, and so. Oh God! Now what happened there? Al, go away. What happened? What were we saying?
So this is really good because she just was talking to Al. Al is her namesake for Alzheimer's in her body. So we, you know, when Tracey, well, it's not even right to say when we all know when something, you know, happens, it doesn't go the way Tracey wants, it's Al's fault. You know, it's uncharacteristic for Tracey, so we know who it really is. It's Al. And so for the documentary, when I actually first came up with my idea for the name of the documentary, and it was Tracey's Ride to Remember. And then her son said, you know, Mom, we can't have that as the title of the movie. People are going to think it's a porno movie. So so Tracey was like, you know, there's no way we're keeping that name now. And so she came up with
like it anyway.
She did, yeah. And so she came up with the name Racing Al. So racing, is great because Coonrad is racing across the country, trying to get to Portland, Maine by World Alzheimer's Day, which is September 21st. So he has to average 100 miles a day with only 1 day off of rest a week to do that. And then Tracey is racing. Also, she's racing a disease called Alzheimer's, which for her is Al. And so we're racing Al, and along the way we're sharing stories and meeting lots of people. And I think that's where you were going with as far as the people we've met. So I'll let you jump back in.
Yeah. And so you're here at the library now. What other states have you all traveled?
We started in Oregon, and then we went to Montana, and then North Dakota.
Yep.
And where are we now?
We're in North Dakota now.
Okay.
We were in Oregon, leaving Portland, Oregon, and we were right along the Columbia River, which is for a while, it's the border between Oregon and Washington. So a couple times we shot up into Washington and then shot back down in Oregon. I think we might have camped 1 day in our initial trips in Washington. Yeah. But then we from there, we cut across Idaho, northern Idaho, into Montana. And then we weren't really initially planning this, and this wasn't part of Coonrad's trip, but we decided to go south. We actually had a business reason why we had to go to Bozeman, Montana, to pick up some, actually our second set of car keys, which we left at my brother's house in Portland, Oregon. So they shipped it to Bozeman. Coonrad stayed north. And then since we were in Bozeman, we decided to take a hot air balloon ride. There's a balloon company based in Bozeman. We actually did the balloon ride in Big Sky, Montana, and had a fabulous time with that. And then from there, we were so close to Yellowstone National Park, and none of us had been to Yellowstone, that we said, well, let's go to Yellowstone. So then we went across the border to Wyoming and did Yellowstone for a couple of days. And then we caught back up with Coonrad in northern Montana, catching back up with him at like 1 a.m. in the morning that night. So, anyway, so those are the states we've been in so far. And as Tracey said, we're in North Dakota now, and heading towards our goal is to get to Coonrad's goal is to get to Minneapolis this weekend. So we'll be meeting up with him there.
That's an amazing journey. I love the balloon trip as well. That's fantastic.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so cool.
Yeah. If you have any photos, by the way, that you may have taken, once we finish the video, I can put them in a part of the video as well. So I can do a list of some pictures that you have that you want to include with the video as well. It should be good to put some of those in there.
That would be great. And then since you mentioned that, if I could just make a little plug, for people that do want to follow our trip, we are posting all of our updates on Instagram, and the Instagram name is at Racing Al the Movie is our name. And then since you mentioned also the library here, I just wanted to give a shout out to the people at the library. Marissa is a librarian. I talked to you yesterday when I was talking about trying to maybe use a room that they had here for this call, and they said, "Oh, we're closed on Wednesdays," but she was moved by the what we're trying to do with Alzheimer's awareness, and so she asked one of her assistants if he would come in and open up the library just for our use today for this meeting. And so appreciative of Marissa and Marv, the gentleman who let us in, and the team here, that they would open up their library just for us to be able to have this meeting with you today.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that they let you in, because this has been really fun so far. And so the next piece that I wanted to talk about was what once you realized that you had Alzheimer's, have you done any financial planning and the last video that we did, Sean from the Terwilliger was the person from the last one that I interviewed, and he was talking about end of life planning and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Has any of that? Have you started that, or
I've put some things in place. So it's hard to get long-term insurance when you have a diagnosis like that. So I got a life insurance policy that will cover when I pass, the kids will have things that will be that will help them, and I planned that pretty well, I think. So but I feel like, so people that don't have, I mean, I had an international career, and I had a good salary, and but people who don't have the means and have the planning, the foresight to have the planning of life insurance and stuff like that, that's what I worry about for our nation, and how we're going to take care of everybody. Incidentally, as an aside, I know we're going over, but when we were in Holland with my friends, we went to an Alzheimer's village, and it's a village for dementia, and you're living in a village, and the help comes in and takes care of you, so you don't have to go to. But there's a little village, and it has like a grocery store, and your pets can go get groomed, and it's in this walled city right in the middle of the city, and it's just the most amazing thing that they're doing for making end of life comfortable and familiar. They put them in pods, in living pods, based on their interests or what they were doing when they had their careers, and so their living people are the people that they can converse with and understand. It's just a fabulous idea. And wow. I would love to find people to invest in it.
Yeah, that sounds. There's. I've been to a lot of Europe. I've traveled quite a bit, and there's a place called Spinilongi. I think it is. It's in Greece, and when leprosy was in it. It was they had colonies of people with leprosy, and in this, so they were afraid that people were going to get leprosy, and so they put them in a walk through, like there's a castle wall. And they're not allowed to leave the place, and it seemed, from when I saw that, it seemed really sad that these people were left in this place. But this sounds the exact opposite.
Yeah,
it seems like people getting together in a place where they can get the support that they need.
Yeah, they live in little house pods, and so the caregivers come in and out, so that you don't have to go to the doctor and come back. It's that they come to you, and in your community. And so, and the, when you get further along and you need night care or something like that, that person is the same person, you know, that they know, or the 2 or 3 that they know caregivers, in that facility. So I just thought that was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they just do a great job replicating like this, like a small town feel. Like you feel like you're in a village, where you have the freedom to, you know, kind of, you know, live freely and independently, even though there's lots of care surrounding you. And yeah, so it's a neat model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does sound like a good way to do it. For me, I think I'd miss my family coming and going as much, you know. But
Yeah, I think
they're going to go anyway when they get to college and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's right. It's when you're ready and at whatever stage feels right for you is when, you know, that you might go. And so maybe some of these people don't really have much family around, and so this village becomes their family kind of thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Do you have any more? So obviously you're doing the bike ride. Following that along, do you have any other travel aspirations?
Right now, I'm just getting through this one, but
right.
We usually travel.
Yeah, and I know one that you have too, that you told me you wanted to do with your sister Jen, that you wanted to take her away this winter, and get some sister time. Yeah. So so I think, you know, it's nice when you live in Maine to be able to go find some sun and some warm weather someplace, you know, once in a while. So I think Tracey had a great idea to take her sister away someplace warm for part of the winter.
It's supposed to be a secret.
Oh, sorry.
No, just kidding. She doesn't know about it yet.
That's right.
Put a big
be a great way to. This would be a great way to find out about her watching this interview.
And then we went up to Acadia with the family. We went hiking up in Maine. That was our first trip that far north. We've been to like Storyland and everything else, but we haven't gone that far. But it was beautiful. We did some sea kayaking. We've got a trip to Paris for our anniversary. So
what anniversary is it?
I believe it's our 20th. But
wow.
I can say Al got it wrong if.
Well, congratulations! That's fantastic. It sounds like it'll be a wonderful trip.
Yeah, we've got it's jam packed. We're going to be we're going up to the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
and the Sai and lots of good food. So we've got 5 days to cram it all in, and then and get the kids back from Grandma's house.
There you go. Oh, I wish you so much fun with that.
Yeah. Anything else that I haven't mentioned that you'd like to talk through? I know that we've got a couple of minutes left.
Do you have any visual spatial travel?
Could you give me an example of the kind of thing that you're thinking of?
Like I'm looking for something and it's right in front of me, but I don't see it, and I walk by it 3 times, or
double vision.
Double vision. Yeah.
I haven't had any vision issue per se, but I certainly lose water bottles regularly. At some point, I'm just going to use a Dunkin' cup and
Yeah.
instead of buying more expensive stuff. But for tennis, I really do need a good water bottle. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, keep up the tennis.
Yeah. I think I
Yeah.
might have mentioned to you on one of the advisory calls. I'd love to hit some tennis balls with you sometime, Adam.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Thanks for the prod. Yeah, we've got some tennis courts down here, or
Yeah.
because everybody's going to be. My wife's at work and the kids will all be at school, so I can go up and back. In fact, I'm going to be in Maine this weekend. My son's in a tournament in no, just Seacoast.
Maine Pines, maybe? Is it in Brunswick?
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah, it's very close to. There's like a museum in the nearby. It's by the water.
By the water.
There's like there's a World War II barrack that's that's near Seacoast in Maine. I went there with my daughter, and now my son is now a goalkeeper. So
all right. Well, that's great. Enjoy that. Tracey and I are going to be in Boston for Parents Weekend at Boston University, where her son just transferred to, and it's in like maybe the second weekend of October. So I don't know how close you live to downtown Boston, but we're going to be down there visiting him that weekend.
Oh yeah, that might work quite well, because I mean I used to go to Boston to work for 7 years at Google and some other companies that I was there. So it's easy to get in and out. I usually take the train in, and I can bring my tennis stuff if there you
go.
If you want to
hit some ball. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll definitely be in touch once we get back from our trip, and maybe we can coordinate something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, so just another reminder, if you can send over some pictures.
Yeah,
sure
absolutely. Is the email the best way I'll send them email to you?
Yeah, or I don't know if you use something like Google Drive or something like that. If you can have a little like package of it, or you can just send them one at a time.
Yeah, right. Because I know Gmail fills up quick. I have a Dropbox, but I'm not that good at using it, but I'll see if I can create a Dropbox folder for you, and then see if I can share that with you and put a bunch of pictures in there.
Yeah, I have Dropbox as well.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, so I can.
So that should work then. I'll give you a link to the Dropbox folder.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
that sounds really good. Well, thanks for being on the video today. It's really nice to get to know the two of you, and everything that you're doing sounds like a really great adventure, and I think that's just the best way to live your life, is to do the things that you need to do to keep yourself happy, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of this trip that you're doing to be here. So thanks for that. And I'll be putting the video up probably tomorrow. I think it'll be, once I've digested the whole thing and figured out how to promote it.
Yeah.
And then so I'm going to stop the recording right now, and then once you'll see in the top left corner, I think it is, on your screen.
I want to thank you, Adam, for what you're doing, because you're doing very important work too by sharing these interviews with people and your own story via YouTube, which has such incredible worldwide reach. You're doing wonderful work as well. And so I'm super grateful that you gave us the opportunity to be on your channel and to so we can share our stories, and so that you can share that as part of the important work that you're doing to raise awareness too.
Yeah, thanks so much. I needed to do something to keep me learning new things. So there's a thing called Canva that people use to create channels and things. So I've been learning different things, and that's really great for brain health. Doing more, trying to challenge yourself to do the things that will help you. So thanks again. And I didn't stop the video just then, so I will be stopping it now. And then let me just
oh, good. I'm glad you didn't. I wanted to make sure that we got that in.
Yeah.